Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. What a
Om
beautiful
Shanti.
silence we had.
Mm-hmm.
This silence is so essential and important. And really, in the world, it's necessary today to experience this silence. We all get engaged in our tasks so much. We become so busy that we don't give this time for silence. And really, not many don't know how to be silent and what is actually silence, because we don't take time to become silent, right? We engage ourselves in so many tasks that whenever we ask to be in silence, we are pulled towards action so much. How long can you sit in absolute silence with your own self without touching your phones, without being engaged in any task? How quickly we get pulled into task. Even right now, I ask everyone to really sit down quietly for a few minutes. Give yourself, because it's very easy for the intellect to be pulled into so many directions, into action. We become so much action conscious. You check yourself after 10 minutes how your intellect is pulled to do something. Can you just be quiet, sit only with your own self, and create that beautiful space for yourself? And in that space, it's only you. Don't bring the past, don't bring the future, don't bring what I need to do, don't bring people. Really, no. That's why I always say, when even you're on Zoom calls, you come on and you're doing something else and you think you're listening, but actually you're not listening, because the gravity of karma is very powerful. When we are doing something, we just get into that doing. We think we are listening, but our ears may be listening, but the soul isn't. It's not going inwards into the soul, where the soul has the experience of that just being very quiet for yourself. And so those moments are necessary. And only when we create such powerful silence and moments for ourselves, we can create a powerful break, a break to our to control our emotions, a powerful break to control our anger, a powerful break to control our moods, a powerful break to bounce back again. If we are going on a track of um, a downward spiral, immediately bringing myself back. So, for that, we need that time. It's not a quick fix, actually. It is definitely not a quick fix. It's not that I can just um, say that, okay, I've become conqueror of my anger, or I have become conqueror of my emotions. No, sometimes that's not the case. And sometimes you may be meditating, but still you will find that there are certain reactions, there are certain ups and downs that do happen because we have a lot of baggage inside. We have a lot of stuff that we have accumulated over a long period of time. So to actually create an internal shift, and especially these days, many are actually, sharing that the internal disturbance that they have. The internal disturbance, meaning the mind getting upset about something, the mind is irritated about something or angry about something, or influenced by something. So there are a lot of souls actually sharing these kinds of experiences. And let me tell you, there is nothing like quick fix. It's not that there is a solution and it's done and I'm a conqueror. you know but no, it's an every day giving time for yourself, every day creating that time. It's so necessary, so that every day you're nurturing yourself. How many of you just give that time for yourself, where there is absence of all sorts of karma and people, and just giving time, where you're listening to your own soul, you're listening to your inner being. And so it's New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone to whom I didn't wish a very Happy New Year. And so in this new year, uh, what are you doing? What are your thoughts like? Sometimes we have a long list of resolutions. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. But maybe after January 15th, we forget. And many times we fall back into the patterns of, previous patterns of life. And it's interesting, right? How we can create long list of resolutions and very quickly in few days we can forget. Or sometimes when something doesn't work, we'll quickly go back to our old patterns and say, this is not working, it's very hard. And so just check, how are you in this first week of, we just done with the first week of our new year. How are your thoughts? What have you carried into this new year? Are you still with any baggage from 2020? Have you let go of that baggage and have a fresh start? Do you feel that I'm a fresh soul in a fresh year? We all say Happy New Year, New Year, New Year. What is new?
Good
What is new?
question.
We are the same old souls. Until truly we are doing something absolutely new, it is new, right? Otherwise, what is new? We all say Happy New Year, Happy New Year. How like parrots, we all say to each other, Happy New Year.
Baba says to create newness, no? Baba says,
Exactly, it's about creating newness.
yeah. So,
It's about creating that newness. So, what newness have you created for yourself in this new year? So, one of the things, I was actually sharing is that first and foremost is, live in this timeless space. Don't become too much time conscious. Oh, 2020 was like this, and 2021, what are we doing? And then there is a rush, there is a hustle and bustle, and then we are stressed out. Oh, these are my resolutions, nothing is working. But sometimes understanding what is that timeless space, if we really see, if we really understand, this time is just cyclical, it's moving just like day and night each year, you know It's just moving on. But sometimes we get too time conscious too. So, one of the things I was actually sharing, I think I was with one of the groups and I asked, what are your experiences from 2020? And many of them shared that how 2020 brought a lot of fear inside them, you know, which is true. But do I want to carry that fear? How long do I want to carry that fear? And if I'm carrying that fear inside me, what will happen to the soul? So, one of the important things is that as we are saying it's new year, let go of the emotions that sometimes bring you into downward spiral. So, when we say it's new year, then it has to be new thoughts. No, it has to be new thoughts. So, did I have this last 7 days new thoughts? Yeah, good. If you have new thoughts, that is good.
My new thought was to not to look at anyone's faults, but create, um, instead change my, like, I don't want to be, when I look at somebody else and if he's saying something, it's not to look at the way he said it, and that's not because, you know, not to have any negative approach to that, instead to reverse it. And I have experienced twice already in 7 days.
In 7 days, you've experienced
Like, so yes,
going back.
yeah,
You've experienced that
I'm
moment,
forward. Yes, yes.
and then you bounce back to your own
Like,
pure.
I don't look at that as a negative quality in my own eyes. Is how the other person is saying. I have to look and let the other person know that's not the way to look at, and in the same way to change myself, and help him change others. So I'm not looking at anybody's quality as negative. It is theirs. It's my perspective to look at the other and how to look at the other.
Mm, mm.
So what do you say, Sister Madhuri? Is that all
I
right?
think that is very good. I think that is very good effort. I think this is what, some of the, if we are saying we are into the new year, then, what kind of new thoughts, how is my thinking? I think everything begins from that thinking. So I have to really look inside myself, um, um, especially my thinking process. How is my thinking process? So unless I give time to really focus on something to change, whatever we focus, that has a transformation, that grows or that has a
Mhm.
transformation. And so if you're really focusing on a certain thing,
Yeah,
bring transformation inside you. Yes, definitely, because that's where your energy goes.
yeah, yes, definitely. That's one of the things I'm looking at to do, and keep practicing until
Very
it
good.
becomes perfect.
Hmm. Anybody else would like to share?
Well, am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Phyllis.
Okay.
Okay, let me actually see you.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, my thoughts are just to be much more open-minded, especially, I was so swamped with politics and people talking politics. And today I had a discussion that it showed me myself how I want to be thinking. Like I was talking to my sister, and we're talking about Democrats, Republicans, and all these categories, liberal, conservative. And my sister tends to be black and white in her thinking. And I was helping her to see, you could be a Democrat and be very conservative about some things, or you could be Christian and be, we're not just one thing.
Yeah.
And I that's my way I want to think, because talking to most people, it's like either you're this or you're that. And I'm like, we're a lot more than that, and you could be more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an interesting conversation. Thank God, we didn't argue over it. It's just that we had, we came close.
Right.
But, it's just not, life is not that simple, black or white, especially seeing the politics. That really made me think about a lot of things. So
Mm.
it helped me also to get together my own way of thinking, and trying to talk to someone without we didn't get into an argument about it,
Mm.
I felt good, and that's how I want to be with other people.
Mm.
Different, I don't care how different your opinion is, I still can like you and talk
Mm.
to you. So.
That is one of the things. Thanks for sharing. It's beautiful. We get influenced by so much that's going on. This is one of the powerful things, that we get influenced so much. Whatever is going on, the persons we are with, or, people that we interact, or the news that we watch, we get so much influence, and we forget actually, life is something much, there are things in life, there are much more bigger things that we can do and think and make a change. And we get so much stuck with what's going on in the world, or in basically in the present moment. As you
Mhm.
said, it could be politics or something I'm facing or experiencing in my life, and we completely forget there is a bigger picture to life. And this little thing that's going on actually becomes my life. And then we see that like a huge mountain in front of us. And though it could be something very small. So what I'm saying is, we become very, very conscious about what's going on, and there is a huge influence that happens on the soul. So at this point, I want to introduce you to this concept of being in timeless space, what it means to be in this timeless space. We are all in this time, and we're seeing this world. We become so much time conscious. Yes, old year 2020, and then we have certain thoughts about this 2020, and then about the new year. But what it feels like being actually beyond time. Just think for a moment that, just a second, I'm trying to also see you all. And so when we become too much time conscious, we are influenced by what's going on. But can we actually remember that we can actually, live, um, in that timeless space actually? If we really think about, where is this time exist? You know, this year after year, where is this time? In this physical world, right? Even when you're traveling, or when you're on the flight, when you're traveling from one place to another, are you conscious about time? You're not much conscious about time. As you're going beyond this physical, is there time? When did even this time, that we keep looking at the clocks and all got invented? Just think for a moment. 100 years ago, how did people know the time? Not even 100 years, I think maybe like 70 years, or okay, let's take 100 years
Yeah,
ago,
100 years. Yeah.
150 years ago. How did actually people live? Uh, did they get very conscious about this time? Did they celebrate New Year's? Did they think, now it's old year, New Year? Did they have those calculations? Actually, they
Madhvi,
say in those days, people, how did they look at the time? They saw the sun natural. They lived a very natural life. They looked at the movement of the sun and they understood that, okay, it's morning now, okay, it's afternoon, and it's evening. And so the movement of the sun and the nature actually taught them about the time, right? But now, how much conscious we become about this time.
Madhvi, I'm wondering how are you relating the timelessness? I'm reading the first sentence. Timelessness also means no worry, less thinking, no waste, uninfluenced. And I wanted to ask, how do you connect time with worry, thinking, waste, and influence?
Mm,
How do you figure that?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. That's a good question. I'm coming to that in a moment.
oh, okay.
Mm, but just, going back to this, um, okay, that will actually answer you for sure if I if I share about the second bit, which is the real me emerging free as a butterfly. All the
Oh,
old weight goes. I mean, just think
oh,
about how a butterfly, a caterpillar, forms into butterfly.
uh,
The
uh-huh.
process of that, butterfly. At some point, they say that caterpillar eats. It's so busy eating, and then there is this, you know, it's like an awareness that begins in the caterpillar to become a butterfly. It's like it starts going into this cocoon, right? And so when it goes into cocoon, it's like it takes all this old weight, right? I mean, the caterpillar has so much weight it takes, but when it goes into the cocoon, it takes its own time to actually enjoy that that pupa time or that chrysalis time inside the cocoon. But say if you try to actually open the cocoon before time, what happens to the to the butterfly, or what happens to the caterpillar or chrysalis? Is it formed? No, it has its own time. It takes its own time. So there is a story they talk about, a man and the butterfly, is that he's watching. This little boy is actually watching, the caterpillar forming into a cocoon, going into a cocoon. So he's waiting when that butterfly will actually become, um, when that caterpillar will become a butterfly. So waiting for the butterfly to come out, he loses his patience, and then he's watching, and then the butterfly is trying to actually come out of that cocoon. And so when it's trying to come out of that cocoon, it's unable to, it's taking its own time. So what that little boy does is he takes the scissors and he cuts the cocoon for the butterfly to come out.
Mm.
So the butterfly would come out, but it's not the same. So in the same way, we all actually take time. A cocoon is like that timeless space. It's going beyond time. When a chrysalis, when a caterpillar goes inside a cocoon, does it know the time? Okay, it's 4 days, it's 5 days, it's 7 days. I have to come out now. No, it lives in a space of um, eternity. It lives in a space of timeless. It doesn't count the days. In the same way, understanding time is actually very subtle. We become actually very much time conscious, that and we say it's new beginning, but we have to allow that new beginning to actually happen, right? So living in this timeless space means that you're actually going beyond time, meaning you're living in eternity. The time is eternal. There are certain truths in life that I need to learn. And one of the truth is the time is eternal. And sometimes when we live in the past, present, future, this happened yesterday, tomorrow I'm worried about this. I don't know how 2021 is going to be. That's the worry many had in 2020. What's going to happen in 2020, when it's going to become normal. So we are constantly living in worry if we become time conscious. And in the same way, look at our own, self. Like when we are aging, right? We become so conscious. Oh, I become now 50 years old, 60 years old. Right? We start to worry what will happen to me. What will happen to me? But then this is where spirituality actually teaches us that you are eternal too. Just like the time is eternal, you are eternal in this time. You're a soul, you're eternal. And so you are playing this part. So when we become too much conscious of the matter and time, then we worry what's going to happen. So this whole thing about timeless is to be in that space of let this drama unfold, let this play unfold. But if we sit with worries, what's going to happen in 2021, what's happening with the politics, what's happening with this, and then we are all the time worried, because whatever has to happen will happen, don't you think so? Whatever has to happen will happen. Do I have control over anything? Can I
No,
even control someone? Can I control
no,
someone's attitude? Can I control someone's thinking? Can I control someone's behavior?
no.
Right? But if we are living in this consciousness of matter and time, that oh my gosh, what's going to happen? This is the time we are in. This was 2020. It was like this. What's going to happen in 2021? Then we are always worrying. So today, learning this, go beyond this worry of what's going to happen.
Do you think it was always like this?
Yes, time is always eternally moving, but we become very too conscious about time. If we want time to stop, does it stop?
No.
Can we stop time?
No.
Can we say yesterday, okay, come back again? Okay, tomorrow, whatever I'm going to face, don't come. Or if I face something like 10 days ago, okay, don't come again. Can we do that? No, time is so eternal. Time is so, it's just going.
But I can't imagine life without time. I mean, I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Time is there, but it's just not, it's about not
It's how
becoming.
much awareness you have of it. Is that it?
Sorry?
Is it about how much awareness you have of the time?
Exactly. The conscious, don't become too much time conscious. This is
Conscious.
what is happening, that is what is happening. But when you become too conscious, what happens is you're losing now. You're
Yeah,
losing this
yeah,
present moment.
that's right. That's
I
right.
asked someone, take benefit, join this meditation class, come to this session. And she said, a few days later, she texted me saying that, oh, I was engaged with something and I was doing something. When things get normal, I'll definitely join. I'll definitely come to your meditation center. But I was telling
Lots of
you,
luck.
what is normal? When do you think it's going to get normal? If you wait for things to get normal, you're completely losing the present moment. Don't you think so? So this
Yes.
moment is precious. This moment I have to live. So living in eternity, living timeless, living timeless, meaning I'm living in the present moment. I'm not in the past. I'm not in the future. I'm not digging the past that this happened, and I'm carrying that fear into the present, nor I'm worrying about the future. What next?
Mm.
So simply sometimes unnecessarily we worry and we take so much of burden.
Yes, yes, yes.
And maybe maybe the next moment is going to be wonderful. But sometimes we worry. And do you think when we worry, okay, somebody's making noise. Um, if you're speaking, yeah, you can unmute. Otherwise, you don't mute yourself. Yeah, do you think if we worry or get fear, things are going to change? Okay, I'm worrying now. I have to worry because if I worry, things will change. Sometimes there is this thing about, you know, um, we think that if I worry, then things are going to change better. Do you think so?
Mm.
My worry will make the things worse or change.
I think it's all about awareness, really.
Absolutely. So it's all about going back into that, space of understanding the eternity, understanding that I am a soul. I am a soul. I am in this eternal time that is continuing. It's not about controlling time. It's not about becoming time conscious. So when we become time conscious, the whole world is actually what it's making me do. It's making me become actually, hasty, right? We become so time conscious. We're running, this moment, this, that moment, this. In these many seconds, this is what I have to produce. And so the world is in a mad race right now. Of, in so many years, we have to achieve this. But just think for a moment, did you even think in 2020, November 2020, what's going to happen? Sorry, November 2019, what's going to happen in 2020? You must have made plans for 2020, but did you have, any idea what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes we think, oh, this is what I'm going to, we plan too much. So when we become too much time conscious, we plan, okay, by 2022, this should happen. But before that, what happens? Who knows? So we have to become a little carefree about this time, and understand that time is eternal, it's moving. I am a soul, I am in this eternity, and I continue this journey. I don't have to become too time conscious or become aware that, yes, I have to do this. Planning is good, but I shouldn't become too much conscious about it.
Subservient to it.
So the other aspect of time is also that, as we all say, time is precious. And how much do we use this treasure in a worthwhile way? So sometimes we say we don't have time for, say for meditation, or we don't have time for something good, but we waste so much time in waste thoughts. Is there anybody in this group who don't have waste thoughts at all?
We all have.
We all
I think we
have
all have a lot of waste thoughts most of the time.
that's right. A lot of waste thoughts most of the time. That is so true. A lot of waste. And why this waste? Because sometimes we don't understand the preciousness of time. Something happens and we get caught up in that. And then we don't realize how much time we waste actually in wasteful thinking.
Mhm.
To realize this also should be one of the things in 2021, that how is my thinking pattern? How much waste do I think and waste my time? And so when I understand that I'm living in timeless space, in eternity, then you know um, I'm actually, as I said, I'm not worried, or I'm not influenced. And so I'm able to save the energy of time. I'm able to save my thoughts. I'm able to save the time, and I'm able to use the time in a healthy way. So think about today itself. So can we keep that homework for ourselves, that let um taking care of this mind and waste thoughts, let this waste thoughts not take me completely down. And sometimes we don't even realize how much we think about the past. Right? This shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have happened. And so that is also becoming time conscious. But if I'm living in timeless, okay, it happened, now I move on, because time is moving. It didn't stop for me. Now something happened this morning. Did time stop? Say something happened at 9 a.m. this morning. I got upset about something. Did time stop? No, time is just ticking. It's eternity. It's going. But I got stuck. Right? I'm not moving with the time. So something happened in the past, and I am still in that 9 a.m. And I didn't even realize how many waste thoughts I've created, how much of time I've wasted. So one thing we learn is that actually we are the masters of the time. I am creating time. So when we say we are the masters of the time, meaning it's not that time has to teach me, hey, you didn't do this right. When are you going to learn? But if I'm too much time conscious, then I'm becoming a servant of time. And then sometimes we leave things also at the last moment. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it when time comes. This is what we say, not understanding that we are actually in the timeless space. Time is always moving. It's not that when time comes, I'll do. If I say when time comes, I'll do, then it could be a hard lesson. Time can teach me a very hard lesson if I wait for time to actually teach me. Don't you think so? I'll say when time comes, I'll do. There's nothing like time coming. Now is the time. Whatever I have to do, I have to do it now, not leave it for tomorrow. Because who has seen tomorrow? So, one of the spiritual aspects that we learn is that be the master of the time, meaning do everything before time. Don't leave it to the last minute. So when I say don't leave it to the last minute, oh yes, that's right. I had to do that email. Let me not leave it to the last minute. Let me do it now, which is fine. I'm not talking about emails and doing things, but about the soul. Why is that we delay, you know, something that we need to do it right now? Like, say, for example, even as the example that I'm talking about, waste thoughts, right? Why is that we have to leave to tomorrow and not just put a full stop to waste thoughts now? When I do that, I become the master of the time. Why is that when something I need to transform, I would say when time comes, I will transform? Why can't I do it right now and
I,
become the master of the time?
I think right now is the only time you can do it
Exactly. And
because
so being in the right now time means timeless, actually. I'm not thinking about tomorrow. You know what I mean?
it's
Right?
more about, it's really a lot about, for me, it's a lot about awareness because the only way I can get out of my thinking, which to me, thinking is about time. I mean, they're very closely related.
Mm.
Um, the only way I can stop thinking is by going into awareness,
Yeah.
being aware of the current moment, being aware of my body, being aware of anything, just being aware. And like for just a quick example,
Mhm.
I always thought I had a very bad memory.
Mm.
And I did in a way. But what I realized when I learned more, it wasn't that I had a bad memory. It was I was too busy. I had too many things in my mind and it wasn't computing.
Mm.
So when I pay attention, okay, I put this here and I make sure I pay attention to it, I will remember tomorrow where I put that. But the other times I was just so fast, I don't remember.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you make yourself be aware of something else, I find, I'm not saying this is the way it is, I just find that it takes me out of the thinking so much
Mm.
about time, about anything. Yeah.
So one of the things, as you're saying, it's awareness, and it's well said, it's right. But what is the awareness I need to have to not to become too time conscious, or
Yeah.
to not to, even this forgetfulness that you're saying is actually a sign of stress.
Yes. Yes.
Forgetful is stress, because
Yeah.
when you're too much stress about things, when you overload yourself with too many things, you forget
Very
what you're
much.
doing.
Very
I
big thing.
think, yeah, today many people experience this forgetfulness because we are overloading ourselves more than what we should be thinking. And so overloading in our thinking,
Yes. Yes.
too
Yes.
much thinking is going on, too much waste is going on in the mind of the past and then the future and then this. And so that's where we are forgetting the things that we should be remembering.
Yes, absolutely. Like I'll be washing dishes and then I realized I wasn't they didn't get that clean. And why? Because all the time I was washing dishes, I'm thinking of 10,000 other things. But if you pay attention, you do it right. And but
Absolutely.
we don't have the time to pay attention.
Absolutely.
That's the excuse always, right?
Yeah, yeah. In the same way that applies to meditation as well. When we sit in meditation, we don't actually give that proper time to meditate. We don't give that time at all. We think this is like, whilst having a cup of tea, while doing this and that, I'll meditate, I'll listen, but that's not the thing. We are not paying attention. That's why what we have to experience, we are not able to experience.
That's right.
We are not paying attention to something that is very important for the soul.
It's like a miracle to me that I realize this because now I can find things because I'm taking the time to say, I remember where I'm watching, I'm looking, it's a miracle to me. It's a simple thing, but I didn't know it for a long time.
Yeah.
So
So in
this
the
is very
same,
helpful.
this awareness of actually going beyond. So what is this going beyond? In meditation, we experience actually taking the awareness beyond this space of physical world into a space which is actually timeless. There is a space beyond which is timeless.
Mhm.
Because just think, when we go beyond this world, even into the space, is there time in the space? And so there is space beyond this world that is absolutely timeless. And so when the soul actually leaves the body, there are some experiences, near death experiences, that people have shared how they experience being in timeless space. We all be in this world, we get so time conscious, we worry, we are influenced, we have base thoughts, fear, fear of what's happening to our body, fear of our age, fear of, the time. But there is a space which is so beyond, there is a space that is actually calling us, reminding us to go beyond this time, to go beyond this matter. And that's the space where the soul experiences freedom. That's the space where you are not in the past, present, and future. You are beyond. You're experiencing being timeless. You're just in the moment. You're experiencing absolute peace, absolute silence. There is no rushing. There is no worry. There is no tension. There is no stress. So each one of us, every single day, this is truth. This is truth. That we come from that space which has no time. And even in this physical world, we are the creatures who created time here. But this is eternity. This is a cycle. This is a story that continues. So when I actually come out of the chains of this time, then I experience much more bigger picture. I experience life to be much more bigger than what I'm experiencing right now. Sometimes we get into arguments about things, looking at the things happening right now, trivial things we argue. But there is a bigger picture to this life. There is a bigger picture to this universe. And we forget all of that. And sometimes certain things happen for a reason. But only if I'm in that eternal space, or I tap into my eternal self, I can actually understand and see the bigger picture. And when I see that bigger picture, I have patience. I have patience. I'm living. I'm not rushing. I'm not judging anyone. You're like this, you're like this, because I'm actually seeing the bigger picture. We don't know why someone takes time to make decisions. We don't know why someone acts in a certain way. Meaning, when I actually go beyond, I'm more a detached observer. I'm observing from that space just like God observes. Just think about it. When God sees all of us, watches all of us from there, how does he watch? Does he keep saying, oh, look at this one, look at that one? No, he's in eternity, he's in a space of eternity. You know? And he looks at the bigger picture. Sometimes we get into judgments, or we point out someone, we blame someone. We get into all these trivial things because we forget the bigger picture of life. So remember, understand that as a soul, I'm eternal. There is no time to soul. The soul leaving the body will not say, it's 7 a.m. now, it's 7 p.m. now.
Mhm.
You know, And there are some beautiful sharings of near-death experiences where people have shared experiencing that timeless space where it's so comforting to the soul, such freedom to the soul. So, but we are living in this world, we have made everything so micromanaging. We are so much micromanaging that we are forgetting the bigger picture. And that's why we get tense, we get stressed, we blame, and all of these games are happening in this world. But once I actually go beyond and understand that I'm this beautiful being, eternal being, and there is a bigger picture to this life, and there is a space that I can actually go beyond, the timeless space. This whole universe is actually, I am in a timeless space. If only I think there is time, there is time. No? But when I actually go beyond, there is such liberation. I'm not worried even about death because we are all timeless. We are all eternal in this universe too. And so that's the point there. The cocoon also is actually beyond time. When the caterpillar is going inside the cocoon, the caterpillar is not thinking, oh, time up now, I have to come out. It's just there. In the same way, when we sit for meditation moments also, this applies in so many ways. When we even sit for meditation moments, give yourself the time to be in that cocoon. Don't become too conscious about time or matter around you. Don't rush. Give yourself time to heal. Don't cut with the scissors your own cocoon. Time up. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. Rushing, rushing, rushing. How long will do this? But that doesn't mean that I'm laid back. There is no time. I'm in time. I'm laid back. I will do whenever I want. That doesn't work again.
Mhm.
Actually, being beyond time also means it gives me power to do things on time. When we become too time conscious or matter conscious, then I'm rushing to the next, which gives me stress. And then I'm more delaying things. But when I am actually going beyond time, then I am becoming more sensible to do what I have to do when. It's not that, some have this habit of being late, late, late in everything. That means time is always teaching me. It's like I am chasing time. Don't chase time. Be the master of the time. Meaning do what you have to do when, you know. So sometimes we don't care about time. We don't value somebody's time. Sometimes have you have this experience if you have to tell someone to do something, and if they're not punctual, then you tell them, okay, please come, and if it's 12 o'clock, you'll tell them, please come at 11, because even if you tell them at 11, they will anyway come at 12.
Mhm.
Because they have a habit of actually, it create this, it's created inside them. It's like that programming, the brain programs in such a way that if it always delay. You are in, like, you're not the master of time. What you're doing is, it's like you're always delaying. So no punctuality. Like, we don't, if we don't value time, then how would, if I don't become the master of the time, then time will teach me, hey, you didn't do the things on time. So that is also important. So there is a connection between time and thoughts. So as we are just talking about it, But if we become too aware of this time, then we are rushing in our thoughts. There is stress in our thoughts. Right? So go beyond into this timeless space. Understand that time is just moving and I have to move with time, and only then there is growth. So one of the things that I experience in timeless space is silence. Silence, silence is beautiful. When you experience silence, it's like time stretches for you. When you're rushing, the more you rush, the more you feel time is less. So that's why we say, oh, wish there were 48 hours,
Mhm.
right? But in silence, you know when to do what, and you still feel there is time because you're in timeless space. Time stretches for you. And so I have to learn to go beyond, experience this timeless space that we all come from. So in Raj Yoga, we learn that this timeless space is called nirvana, or this timeless. I mean, I'm talking about one particular space, of course, that's a space. But as such, the time is eternity, which is, eternal. But of course, also go beyond this physical space, this physical world, into that timeless space of nirvana. Concentrate, feel that silence within. Go within your mind and just don't think about anything that you have to do or did or have to do, the past and present, the past and future. Just be in the present moment. Allow all your thoughts in that silence. You are feeling all your thoughts are actually calming down. And that's when you're receiving the strength, the power to control, have more control over your mind, right? So all these things, complaints we make, what to do, I get hyper, I get, upset about things, I get angry, I get sensitive. All of these things will start healing when I experience that space of silence, that space of eternity inside me. So create that timeless space inside you, in the soul, and live in that. Today sometimes people may not be having that much to do, but it's just that repetition. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to do. What do you have a lot to do? It's like maybe sometimes I have to just lift this thing and put here. That's all. Sometimes we just repeatedly think that only this little task we have to do, and we think so much about it. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. So it's like already I have done 1,000 times in our mind.
Mhm.
So that's where I get tired.
Mhm.
So it's like we live in this time of rush and hustle and bustle. I have to do a lot. Oh, I'm so tired. Of course, we'll get tired. And so when I understand the eternity of time, then I'm far-sighted. I don't just do things for limited purpose, but for unlimited reason. So today we discuss about limited things, what is happening in the world, what is politics or that or this. Many times we do things in a limited way. Um, but when I understand the eternal time, I become so far-sighted. I just don't do for limited purpose, but whatever I do has an unlimited reason. It's not just, it's like, say, for example, I'm not just serving one person or, Whatever I do is not for a limited reason, for unlimited reason. And in that unlimited, um, you know, uh, being that far-sighted and doing for a bigger picture for unlimited reasons, I become very altruistic. When I'm here, time conscious, then I become sometimes selfish. What is in there for me? But when I'm in that space, what is there for everyone? That's what I would think. It's a benefit for everyone, not just me. So when I'm in that eternal space, when I create that eternal space inside myself, when I consider myself as a soul, living that silence, then things that matter will matter to me. So what matters to me? That's what I will realize. Om Shanti.
Oh, Shanti. Thank you.
God.
Om Shanti, Sister Madhavi.
Om Shanti, brother.
I have one curiosity. Today's lecture teaching was so much relevant to my problem. I was trying to make a New Year resolution like this year I will think less, avoid wasteful thinking, keep my mind empty. Dimag khali rakho. Is it okay?
Yeah. I mean,
Khali rakho.
if you keep your mind empty, then they say empty mind is devil's workshop.
No. And
So,
again, I will say, sister, and use that empty mind. I cannot say
yeah,
fully empty. Like you said, think less
positive.
for meditation, remembering Baba, getting knowledge on the spiritual matters. So use that, say, not fully empty, say semi-empty mind for what you say, non-alokik, right?
Yes,
Non-physical world.
spiritual.
So again, it is not that easy to avoid family responsibilities, household duties, responsibilities, and to learn about the political developments in America, in my native Nepal. There are many new political developments in my native and here in America also. So sometimes I try to avoid, again, I have to see the newspaper, online, this thing reporting, but again, again, I think when I see the newspaper, I mean to see the online reporting, I think why I'm seeing this, why I'm trying to learn in depth the political developments in my native Nepal and in my, say, Karma Bhumi, America. So I'm trying to become conscious, to think less, to avoid wasteful thinking. Again, I say this is not an easy thing, right? I have to concentrate more on spiritual issues, meditation, and your teachings. So today's lecture was very much relevant to the problems I'm facing these days. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you. Yes, definitely it's not easy, but we have to keep doing, right? Because otherwise we can just we can get sucked into what's going on around us. Becoming time conscious in the sense, just becoming, as you said, it's very easy to get sucked into what's happening, and then we have waste thoughts, and we don't even realize how much we're wasting our time and energy, um, creating waste.
So like in my case, there is a little use for me knowing the details about the activities in my country, right? Political developments here in America also. Some general knowledge, superficial knowledge is enough. And again, not deeply involved in the family responsibilities, household duties and responsibilities also. Just take it easily. Am I right? Take it easily. not take it seriously.
But you can only take it easy when you actually do the groundwork. And the groundwork here is that giving giving that time to yourself to become really quiet, to experience that you know uh, that eternity, or going beyond this time, going beyond time, creating that silence, because these are like some of the tools which actually will help you to take things in a light way and not be serious.
Mhm. So I have to learn using my semi like empty mind for the spiritual activities.
Definitely giving that time for yourself is definitely important.
Satsang, right? Satsang and meditation.
Sure.
I'm trying, sister.
Yes,
I'm trying.
good. Yes.
I'm trying. Again, I say it's a great challenge, not an easy this thing, if your job. But I'm trying. Thank you very much. It was so much relevant for my issues, your lecture today.
Good, very good.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Hi,
Madhvi,
Sister
it was okay. Madhvi, it was very useful, and I think um, you little bit like grounded us with this whole today's session was very appealing in a sense that we can our mind is always like a monkey going from one branch to another, and how you control your mind, and you have to discipline it, and it's not going to be easy, but saying last so many months we have this session, we just look at, forget about what we're learning from you, just discipline yourself to every night come at 7 o'clock. That itself, you value the time. That a particular time is a valuable. If you don't value the time, you are not going to come. And that itself is just controlling. And now you're giving a lot of idea and a thought and a method how we can apply it. Because everybody's lifestyle is very different. Everybody needs are different. Everybody thinking are different. But overall, you can see the bigger picture. You can still, as brother told that, okay, politics, everything, you can't be away from everything. You read it, but you don't consume your entire life in something. You just grab it, learn it, watch it, and just move on it. Not stuck with something, watching constantly 24 hours. The same repeated story all the time. I think this is what it is, that how you manage your time.
Right.
And then you can, and I think it was well said. Well, I'm very happy about it. I'm really, it's just, you don't think about how you manage your time and how you, I, I know I'm wasting my thoughts so much. So I have so much energy, just like you say, Brahma Baba. You have so much energy, but your energy you are wasting only hardly using positive for only 1 or 2%. Rest of the 98% of wasting. So you, even though you're wasting your energy, you are not getting any result. Now I'm a result oriented. Okay, I'm putting my energy. What result, positive result I'm helping to society or doing something good for the humanity. And I think you channel our thought in a proper direction. That was very, everybody need a direction, guidance, teacher. If you know ABC, but somebody don't know how to write a sentence, it does not matter. You give us the direction. Now it's up to us whether we want to run fast, walk slowly, run fast, or be a Olympic runner. It's up to us. You give a tool, how to, you give us the tool. Now that particular tool, how we are going to use it. And it was very, very good.
Thank you, Sudha. Thank you.
Hi, Madhvi. It's Norma.
Norma, Om Shanti, how are you?
Shanti. Good, thanks. It was, I'm going to start this meditation thing more often now. And I think your subject today, I think we all could relate to it. And the main thing is we all think we could worry less, think less, and that is true, but we have to work on it. We have to keep reminding ourselves.
Yeah, we have to work on it.
Yeah, when you come out of it, you remind yourself, and then eventually it's going to become a habit. And it was a very good subject today. I think we all could relate to that.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We don't even realize this living timeless, what it means, and it caused so much stress and trouble. Like once I heard someone say, it's not a problem. The problem is only like 10%, and 90% is how you think about it.
Yeah.
So if you go timeless, you really could help. And worry is just a waste of energy. So this really, I think to all of us, this relates to, well, most of us, I guess.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Every day, usually from Monday to Friday, we have meditation, but like these sessions, the insight sessions, we'll do every Thursday. So
every Thursday, this type of session, same time.
The same time, 7 o'clock. So you're most welcome to join every Thursday. Yeah, every Thursday. So I'll
and then you have
Thursday the invitation to session.
You have weekdays too.
Weekdays too, yeah. Monday to Friday, like we do meditation for half an hour meditation.
What time?
7 o'clock.
7.
Oh,
but you need like a new dial-in every now or every
the
time?
Same number, the same line.
The same?
The same line.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Sure.
How you doing?
Very good. I'm good.
You're gonna be, I shouldn't even be asking. You're doing good with this kind of knowledge you have. Was good. I really like this subject tonight. I mean, would help a lot in a lot of ways.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Especially with the way things are going and worldwide, and you need this kind of meditation. You need to be reminded too. What you do, some of the things we know, but we need to be reminded, and you do that also.
Yeah.
And thank you again.
Sure.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sister Madhvi.
Om Shanti, Atriana.
One of the slides said something. It said something about that when you deal with time in a healthy way, you create time. And I wanted to know more about how do you deal with time in a healthy way, and how is that time created as a result?
So just this example of waste thoughts, right? If I realize that I'm thinking waste thoughts, and if I actually make a shift, in my waste thoughts, and I start thinking about a different subject, or I have a powerful break of putting a full stop on the waste thoughts, then immediately what I'm doing is actually I'm begin to use the time in a healthy way. Immediately then I start to feel that there is a lot of time. You know what I mean? Because unknowingly, so when I am actually thinking, I'm living this life, but at the same time, there is so much going on in my mind. I'm wasting time. And so what I feel is sometimes then I start to feel this life is so heavy, because of our own, then what is this time? What is this life? And then we get disappointed about this life. But when I use my time in a worthwhile way, meaning if I have a proper timetable, not timetable, but if I do worthwhile things, you know, if I don't just waste time, but if I do worthwhile things during the day, you know, you've done something which created a worth. You used your thoughts in a right way, not for waste reasons or negative reasons. You spoke something right. You know, you just didn't waste your energy speaking anything that came to your mouth. You did the right deeds, which helped you, um, uh, which helped you and others as well. It created some sort of meaning. Then, you know, these things, using your thoughts, words, and deeds in a worthwhile way is actually using time in a right way. Oh, Adriana, I think she got stuck. I don't know if she heard that the response.
So Madhvi, it's more or less, it's just be conscious, become more conscious of what you're thinking. You correct yourself and you do what you know you should do and not what you're doing or thinking right now.
And immediately you have to catch yourself if your thoughts are going off track. Immediately catch.
I'll start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's funny that I take this class today because that was one of my New Year's resolution. No matter what somebody does to me or no matter what type of person they are, don't even look at what you see there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Look at the eternity. Look just like how, you know, I would look at the eternity. Look at them as the same, you know, they're going through that time.
Right. Yes. Adriana, did you hear, listen, did you hear?
So yeah, it just at the moment that you were responding, my computer
It got
didn't.
stuck, yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
I
got
was sharing was that when you use your thoughts, words, and deeds in a worthwhile way, then you are respecting time. You're using time in a worthwhile way. So you've done something productive, like, you know, through your thoughts, words, and deeds, and you just didn't waste it. And so then time also respects you.
Mm-hmm. True.
I also had another question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Matby. I really liked what you said about the cocoon.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I do feel that I'm in a cocoon stage right now, you know, and that it does happen like, you know, once in a while. But how do you know what's the time, you know, because you were saying while you are in that stage, there needs to be a timeless consciousness, right? So how do you know when it's the time to come out?
Actually, the time will actually do it for you because you are the master when you are in timeless space. Because so time becomes your servant and time unfolds at its right time. Because as the chrysalis in the cocoon, it's not conscious about time. It's not rushing. It's not following time, and it's just waiting for time to unfold. That's it. You know, it's just in that space, and time does, and time actually bows to those who actually, you know, are the masters. Time also respects. So at the right time, right things will automatically happen. So at the right time, the cocoon will become a butterfly, you know, the chrysalis becomes a butterfly and comes out. So it's like when I'm rushing, and you know, that means I have become the servant of time. But when I live in that space of eternity inside my own self, then the time drama, the time unfolds at its own time, and I'm the master of it. And so sometimes I have to let time just do its work at its own time, unfold, rather than going into the questions of why, what, how. This shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have happened, you know. And so time does its own, has its own task, does its own thing.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sister Madhvi.
Om Shanti, Poonam. Om Shanti.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So beautifully you explained about the time. You know, time is really precious. And when it's, and it never stops. Because once it's, gone by, it never comes back. So we have to go beyond, and, we have to realize the value of time, and we cannot waste it in all these worry pursuits and all that. Whatever time is left with us, we have to spend it wisely.
Right.
And in noble deeds, because that what is gone by, we cannot remember that, first of all, and not worry about it, because anyway, future is uncertain. So we might as well grab this moment, and this moment is ours, right?
Absolutely.
So we can balance it out, right? It was so beautifully you explained. Thank you so much, Sister Madhvi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Hey, wonderful to hear from all of you. Om Shanti. I also see Kiran joined after a long time. I'm not sure the spirit, but lovely to have you. And yes, as I mentioned, we do some meditation in the evening, and sometimes these kind of chats do join. And also every Thursday, these sessions will continue. So have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks
Take care,
again.
and
Well
we'll
done.
meet soon. Okay.
Good night, Sister Madhvi. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night. Good night.